what is Conversations with Coryelle all about? It's a weekly series on a wide variety of topics, from the metaphysical to the philosophical, from the erotic to the exotic, from the mystical to the spiritual. It's all about showing you how to enhance your life. And I'll also be showing you ways on how you can enhance your animals' lives too. I'll be joined by host Kevin McDonald. I'm happy to have you here. Now let's have a conversation.
And welcome to the podcast, everybody. My name is Kevin McDonald, and over there is our good friend Coryelle Kramer. I'm really excited. Hey, I'm really excited about this show, Coryelle, because you sent me kind of what we're doing and what we're going to talk about, but other than that, I have no earthly idea. So I'm looking forward to figuring it out together. The audience and I will figure out together what you have in your head.
It's not going to be that difficult. It's really not that difficult. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. I know that when I learned this and when I started releasing some of the rules and started breaking some of the rules, I had a lot more fun in what I was doing. And I became a lot more powerful in the healings that I did. And so if I can give people little tips on healing. So what this basically the show is all about is it's about the rigid Reiki rules. And what I want to say first and foremost is I'm not trying to shit on anybody's modality. Okay? It's not to say my modality is better than your modality and you suck and I rule and all that. It's not about that, okay?
No.
It's simply about allowing yourself to be easier with healing. It's about having fun. Really, 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 really having fun. I'm not saying I wasn't having fun when I was doing Reiki, but I'll explain more as the show goes on. And it was extremely interesting, my journey with it. But I think it's something where let's bring more uniqueness to the program.
Perfect. But before we go there, okay. Because Wyatt and I have somebody just texted in or commented. Wyatt and I have joined you, Kathy, and we wanted to talk about what happened last week.
Oh, that's Kathy. That's Kathy is Willem. Kathy is Willem's person, and Willem was the dog that I talked about last week, who really had that shadow. Who I started shadow work with, and Wyatt is Willem's brother, and Willem has made his transition back to non-physical.
Now, let's set up this video.
So I showed the picture of Willem last week, and the picture was him, and I forgot to print it out. So apologies, I'm human. So it was a picture of Willem, and he had this harness on, and that's the only way that Kathy could get him up, because he wasn't able to walk. He was able to stand, but there was a wobbliness to him. He wasn't steady, wasn't able to run, definitely wasn't able to run, and had very, very little energy. And if you could look in his face, you would have noticed that his eyes were kind of like a little bit closed. He didn't have the energy that he normally did. So I did the healing work. I got called to do healing work on him by his person, and I got drawn to do it. And I noticed that he had a little shadow in his auric field. And what happened was that I sent him healing, and immediately she started to say he's got more energy. Afterwards, after I sent him healing, I got texts from her. He looks like he's doing better. He's recouping. And then a few days later, she sent me this image or this movie of Willem and Wyatt playing in the backyard.
And we're going to show that to you right now. It's pretty amazing from what you described, the change that occurred in him. So stay tuned and watch this right now.
Come on, go. Run, you guys. Run, you guys.
That is remarkable, the change that happened.
Yeah. And what was really crazy was he was falling on the ground, but he was falling on the ground because he was playing, not because he couldn't get up. And he was able to immediately get up. And what Kathy sent me was she sent me a text and she said, they're running around the backyard. And she tried to get that on a movie, but she didn't get to her camera fast enough. And that was what she could find. But she said a few minutes before that, they're doing zoomies around the backyard. So I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy. That just makes me so freaking awesomely happy.
Oh, that's wonderful. Unfortunately, tell us this part.
Willem has made his transition. He went back home to non-physical. We were sending him, and I was sending him energy, and he recuperated for a little bit, for a hot minute, but then it just became too much. It takes a lot of energy to come to recoup and gain that momentum back, especially when you have momentum going in the other direction. So they did the kindness that we do as animal people, and they got him back home to non-physical, and they helped him back home to non-physical.
And that was it. Well, when you're as big a dog as they are, it's hard to be able to get up and have a lot of energy and stuff. But from what you described for me when you first told me about Willem, that he was in a harness and he couldn't move at all, and he couldn't go outside and do his normal bathroom stuff and all of that. And then to watch that video was pretty remarkable. So and so thank you, Kathy, for bringing that to our attention so that we could share that with the world, because it really is important, because Coryelle can help your animal do that too. She's phenomenal at that. So, and it's all energy, which is, I'm excited because we're talking about energy today. This will be fun.
Yeah, we are. And you know what it is? This is what really jazzes me, is that the thought that if I hadn't evolved my healing to the next level, if I hadn't constantly be open to new ways that I can make it my own, I don't know if he would have healed the way he did, No. And I don't know, maybe I don't know. So let's begin. Hey, Susan, how you doing? Susan is this fantastic local painter who's also a very good friend of mine, incredibly talented. And so I love her to death, and she listens to the show and supports the show where she does her painting. So
yo, Susan, thank you.
We are promoting a creativity, baby. So now
that's it.
So let's begin, so you have an idea. So shortly after 9/11, I was in Germany. We couldn't get back. I got married in 2001, and I got married September 1st. So we were on our honeymoon in Italy, in Tuscany specifically, when 9/11 happened. What happened, though, was when I saw those towers go down, I realized that I needed to be on the forefront of healing, being able to send healing, being able to help people, being able to help animals, being able to especially help places clear the energy. It just felt like it was a calling, like it was just pulling my soul. So when we finally were able to come back into the States about a month and a half, 2 months later, I immediately found somebody who was going to teach me, who was a Reiki master and taught Reiki and attuned people to Reiki, because I felt like that's what it was. That was the only really thing. I mean, people didn't talk about energy work like they do today. It was Reiki, and that was it. It was a Reiki. That was it.
I remember that. That's true.
So there wasn't a lot of options, and I felt like, okay, let's just do it. Although there was a part of me, a niggling in the back of my brain that said, this is a little, because she gave me things to do before, and it was very, very strict. And I was supposed to do this, and I was supposed to be here, and I was supposed to wear that, and I was supposed to do this. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever, I'll go with it, because she's the Reiki master. So I went to a place down in outside of Soho in New York City, and I got attuned to Reiki level 1 and Reiki level 2 in one weekend. And so when you get attuned, there is this ceremony that they have to do with you to attune your body to the higher levels of healing in Reiki. And then what happened was that then she started telling me how to send energy. So there were 2 other people, I believe, in that class with me, 2 guys. And I started sending energy to him. He was laying down on the ground or on a mat, and I was sending energy, and she kept correcting me.
Oh, there's a good idea.
Now, I'm okay with it. But what was interesting was she showed me the way to hold my hands in Reiki. And my little fingers, so the way that you hold hands in Reiki, your hands in Reiki is like this. So you cup them, and you're sending energy like this. Okay. Now, what started happening was my fingers, specifically my pinkies, started spreading out like away. And she would say, put the pinkies back. And I'd be like, and the pinkies would spread out and the hands would soften. Don't soften your hands. And I was like, I was getting a little irritated. But I was like, okay, this is the way that it's supposed to be. If I need to do it some way else, I will figure it out later. Let's just learn it and get her going. Let's get her done. So I sent healing, and the pinkies kept all weekend long. All weekend long, the pinkies kept spreading out. And she kept saying,
You had wandering pinkies.
I had wandering. My fingers wanted to spread out. That felt good to me. This did not feel good. Sending it didn't feel good. But I was like, okay, I'm going with the program right now. Okay. So that was the first indication for me that it wasn't quite the way I was going to do it eventually. See, the thing that I love to do, and it's the thing I've done ever since I was a kid. I take something, somebody teaches me something, and I take it and I make it my own. I've done this with everything, with the dancing that I did, with the acting that I did, with the modeling that I did. I did it with everything. The clothes that I wore. Somebody would say, well, this is the style now. And I'd be like, yeah, I'll take a little bit, but I ain't taking that whole freaking shebang thing. That's just a little bit too much for me. That's not me. So I've always done that since I was a kid. So I knew in the back of my head, I said, I think I'm going to I kept hearing my guide, my inner voice telling me, take the information, kind of like what I did with the erotic blueprints, take the information, shut up, take the information, listen to it, and then make it your own. You're going to make it your own later. So I said, okay. So I went through it. So I got attuned to level 1. Now at level 1, there's not a lot you could do. You could do in person. Okay. You could absolutely do in person. But you can't send. Another rule. You can't send energy. That person's got to be with you. That being's got to be with you. And I was like, yeah, but energy travels through everything. Why can't I send it now? Asking questions again. And I just said, just whatever. So that's the first thing that I got is that you cannot send long distance. Boom. Don't do it. The other thing that I gained was I started to see the Reiki symbols. And there are 3 symbols in Reiki. And they mean 3 different things. So the first symbol you learn is something called Coryelle. And Coryelle is this. So what you do is you go this way, then you go down, then you go 3 times, saying the name, Coryelle, Coryelle, Coryelle. 3 times. 3 times, you got to do the symbol. Now, this symbol is nothing. This is easy peasy, lemon squeezy, okay? It really is, because you do Coryelle, Coryelle, Coryelle. And I did it instinctively where I was saying I was timing the way that I said the word with the swirls. So I knew that I was doing it 3 times instinctively without even trying. And my teacher told me that. She said, "You're doing this really, really good." I said, "Thanks." So the thing of it was, though, this is another rule in Reiki. And the rule in Reiki is if you do something, if you do a symbol and you mess it up, you got to erase it, start over again. Okay. So again, that kind of irritated me. I'm not going to lie. It irritated me a little bit. Because again, I have to erase it and start over again. Now, what you have to understand is the images, the symbols in Reiki get progressively bit more. So anyway, so when you become level 1 attuned, you get Reiki. You get Coryelle. Okay. And Coryelle helps you you're supposed to do that before you do any in person. Then I got attuned to level 2. And in level 2, you get another symbol. And the other symbol is Seiheki. And Seiheki looks like this. Kind of like, I used to think of it as like a profile of Fred Flintstone. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. It just reminded me of Fred Flintstone. So there you go. So, I mean, this is pretty, you got to start here. Okay. And do that. Then you got to do that. You're good if you get to that point, because all you got is the 2 humps. Okay. But this one, learning how to do this, because there's distinctive points and flatness, was very interesting. And again, you got to remember, if you don't get it right, you got to erase it.
Erase and do again.
Start again. And you're doing it 3 times. Okay. So then I came back and I got attuned to Reiki Master. Now this enables you to do long distance, but it also enables you to help people emotional state, mental state. It helps them become more in balance, which again to me made me question things, because I'm like, but I'm sending healing to somebody. So you're telling me I'm just healing their body. I'm not healing their mind. I'm not healing their emotions, because I can't do it yet because I'm not level 2. Yes. Okay. Okay. So then what it was that a few weeks later, I get called to come back, and I get drawn to being attuned to Reiki Master. So they did the ceremony on me, and boop, 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 boop. And then they gave me the last symbol. The last symbol in Reiki is Hansei Shei Shonin. Hansei Shei Shonin. When I saw it, I'm not going to lie, my eyes kind of bugged out of my head.
Holy crap.
Now, there is 20 separate symbols to this. 20. Okay? And remember, you got to do it 3 times.
Or you got to
And
start
if
over.
you mess up, you got to erase and start again. Now, to say that to learn this symbol for me, okay, was an experience is kind of an understatement. And I felt myself getting more and more and more frustrated. I'm sending energy and I'm frustrated. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Plus my fingers, I got to do my fingers like this and I got to hold my fingers like this and it's like, and I'm frustrated and I was like, this is not what I thought it was. This is a little, I'm not feeling this. I'm not having fun. And if I don't do something and have fun, I ain't doing it. Okay. I got to find some way to have fun. Even if it's going to the IRS office, I'm like, I'm going to get the most happiest person in the IRS office, whatever I can do, because I got to have fun, or it's a chore and I'm not lined up with it and it's not aligned action. So what started happening was at the beginning, I would start to send Reiki bubbles, and the Reiki bubbles were just pretty much just bubbles of Reiki and energy that I would send to people. And then I got, I wrote about it. I think on my website, I got some chick emailing me, telling me I'm doing it wrong. What's a Reiki bubble? It doesn't even exist. This is not what Reiki is all about. And I'm like, this shouldn't be this hard, man. So I was like, and then I said to myself, I said to myself after a while, I just kept doing the bubbles. I was like, if you don't like it, fudge you. I don't care. I don't care. I like doing it. I'm having fun doing it. I'm doing it. I'm getting results. I'm doing it the way I want to do it. I let my hands go. My hand goes boop, 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 baby. Fingers wide. Let's go crazy. I'm like, let's have a party. So, but then what started happening was for a few years after that, I realized that my doing the Reiki became less and less and less and less and less until I was just really just doing the bubbles and that was it. And then I got attuned. I wanted to reattune with friends of mine who were Reiki masters. And I wanted to tune to their Reiki because it felt better. They were doing a lot of work with animals. It felt good to me. So I was like, reattune me to master, because it's been like a decade or something. And they reattuned me and I said, oh, God, thank you. But do I really have to do the Hansei Shishonin? Do I have to do the symbols? Do I have to do this? And they're like, no. And I'm like, what? No, don't do the symbols. It's the intention that's important. What's your intention when you send it? Is it your intention that it's going to hit and it's going to encompass and surround a Great Dane in Boulder, Colorado, and it's going to help him however it needs to help him? It's your intention. That's where the magic happens. And I was like, oh my God. Oh, that feels so good. I was like, yeah, man. It's like all of a sudden, it was like I was free. I was able to spread my wings and I was able to do what the fuck I wanted to do with the energy. It's energy, people. You don't constrain energy. You You let energy flow. You don't let it, you let it go. You don't hold it and use it like a knife and what do you, I mean, that's your thing, look, if that's your thing, if it feels right to you, whatever feels right to you, that's the magic. That's what I tell you over and over and over again. If it feels right to you, it is right for you.
Correct.
From the moment that I became attuned to Reiki, it did not feel right to me. And so what started happening was that I took Reiki and I started flipping it on its head. I threw out the rules. I threw out the signs. Symbols, bye-bye, adios, hasta luego, vile con Dios, hasty banana. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. I was like, nah, man, I'm free. I'm free. Let's see what happens with the shadows. Let's see what happens with the healing. Let's see what happens with the chakra. Let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens. And then I started meeting people who also were attuned to different levels of Reiki. And I said to them, are you still doing it? And time after time after time after time after time, people would say, no, I stopped doing that a long time ago. Really? Why? I don't know. It just didn't become, it wasn't fun anymore. Or they would say, I don't know, I just stopped doing it. And I said, let me ask you, was it the hands? What was it that you didn't like? The hands, the symbols? What was it? And a lot of the people would say the constraint. It was too confined. It was too constrained. And I said, this is energy. And the fact that you can't do this unless you're attuned to that, unless you're brought up to this level, something, I don't believe in that. I believe if you want to send energy, send energy. It's your intention. Now, you could be really tuned to feeling energy, and you got to get yourself a little bit more tuned. The more you do it, the more honed you are. The more you feel it, the more sensitive you become to it. But, the thought to me that you have to be attuned to Reiki Master before you can even send anybody emotional energy is crazy to me.
I was going to say, I did have a question for you, though.
Go.
Because
I talked for a long time. Sorry.
No, you did fine because it was a great story. And Leslie agreed with you. She said, "Oh man, love the Reiki story. I'm so on the same page." And but it seems to me that in order for you, when you did Reiki 1, in order for you to go to Reiki 2, I mean, you couldn't send remote energy at Reiki 1. You had to go to Reiki 2. And there's a cost associated from going to Reiki 1 to Reiki 2. And then there's also another cost to go become a Reiki master. And then everything has to be done a certain way. It seems to me it's almost like a religious kind of thing. That you to become a Reiki master was a great big deal. But the reality is that you can do energy anytime you want to.
Yeah, okay. I mean, again, I'm not making fun. I'm really not making fun of it. But the energy, the Reiki, and I'm really paraphrasing here. Okay, I don't remember. I haven't looked up the story, but it was developed by some gentleman in, I think he was either in Japan or Hawaii, in some cave, and he downloaded the information. The hands, the whole 9 yards. No, he was Japanese. The Japanese are very, they're very detailed oriented, and that's nothing bad. It's just they're very, you can't do kung fu without doing kung fu the way kung fu is supposed to do. Well, I could, but I would,
Well, I wanted to ask you, were you able, because that last symbol has like 20 or so different things. Can you do that? And what does it look like when you do that?
And you got to draw it in the air. And that's another thing. I'm drawing it in the air, man. It's in the air. It's in the ether. Why do I have to erase it? Can't I just? It's air. It's moving. That's already moved out of the way. Can we? Can we just please make this easy? So yeah, Hansei Sheishonen. This is 20 things that you had to learn, and you had to do it repetitiously over and over and over it every single time you sent energy. Long distance. All of my clients are long distance. All of them almost. Okay. I was living in the boondocks of upstate New York. Now I'm living in the boondocks of New York and New Mexico. But, you know, it's like, oh, my clients. I can't even imagine doing COVID and being a healer and having to do this like 30, 40 times a day. I would probably just go out and drink heavily. This is crazy to me. But it's like, okay, if that's what feels right to you, fine. But my thing of it is, it's energy. I want to play with it. I want to play with it. I want to make it mine. I want to do things. When I attune people to my energy, I told them I am attuning you so that I'm opening up the pathways for you. That's all I'm doing. I'm opening up the pathways. There are no symbols. There's nothing you got to do. I don't want you to do it the way I would do it. I am giving you this technique. I am opening you up to the pathways of divine and the angelic realm and the animal realm and the, I can't even remember what other one, the goddess energy, the divine feminine, divine masculine. I threw everything in there. And I said, now go and take it and make it your own. Do you. Because you're not me. You're not me. You can't do what I do. You can follow a form, but the power is when you take something and you make it your own, you bring your own uniqueness to it, you bring you to it, you bring your intention to it. It feels like you're giving a part of your very essence to whatever you're doing. That's the power. That's the power. It's not doing it the way some dude did it in 1930 in some freaking cave in wherever. Unless that feels right to you, then do it. It did not feel right to me. And it did not feel right to a lot of people that I talked to over the years who were just like, I just want to be able to just send energy and help the world. That's all I want to do. I don't want to do this and do that and do this and do that, do this and do that. No. I don't want to do this. I just want to send energy. Can I do that? Yes, do it. You don't have to be attuned. You know what you have to do? I'll show you. You want to know what you can do to activate yourself? Okay, here you go. Okay, rub your hands. Rub your hands for about 5 to 10 seconds vigorously. Okay? And then slowly pull your hands apart and then play with it. You feel that? It kind of feels like a spongy taffy. That's energy. You just activated yourself. You activated the energy outlets in your hands. Now, put that hand on your body somewhere and see if you feel it. It doesn't, you have to be on it. It could be over it. Do you feel that heat? That's energy. Okay, there you go. You're a light artisan. Now send it with intention. I want to send this energy to help the planet and see the entire planet wrapped in energetic light that means healing to you, whatever that is. For me, it is opalescent white light energy, but that's me. Okay, some people it's green. Some people it's blue. Some people it's pink. Some people it's purple. It's whatever energy represents healing to you, because that is part of your intention you're setting. That's the magic. That is the spell you're weaving, is you're sending that energy, and that color represents total and complete healing to you. Now, when I work, and I talked about this when we talked about the erotic blueprints, the energetic, the first one we did, the energetic is all about receiving and sending energy. It's all about feeling the energy of people, places, things, and enjoying it. Okay. So if you're somebody who is very energetic, you have this already in your hands. You have this already. You don't really have to act. You just maybe have to tune it up a little bit. But it's about the energetic I showed you how to do this. The energetic can do this. Everybody can do this. It's just how often do you do it? Because like anything, when I teach, people what I do, when I teach people intuition, whatever, I tell them all the time, it's like a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger it is. You get what you put into it. If you connect to your intuition and get yourself into the habit of doing it, go to the store, choose your food by using your intuition. What feels right to you? Ooh, these eggs feel right to me. These eggs don't feel right to me. I'm going to take these eggs. And see how, play with it. Use your intuition as much as you possibly can, as often as you possibly can. Because then you'll be doing it like I do. Quick, like I don't even think about it anymore. Boop, I'm connected. I'm awake, I'm connected. I'm asleep, I'm connected. I'm connected.
That is nothing short of the truth. I just love the way you make it so clear and so plain, because energy is out there. It's everywhere. And it's a matter of the intention to focus it and to move it in the direction that you want it to be. So let me ask you, how do you know that the energy you're sending is positive energy in your style? How do you know?
You feel it. Why would I send anybody negative energy? I mean, not intentionally.
There are people that do, just because they can't.
Well, I get that, but I also don't vibrate those people in my life. There are people that collect energy suckers or energy vampires like they're fucking candy. I don't. Okay, I don't want them. I don't need them. If I feel like somebody's an energy sucker, bye-bye. See you later. And not that you're a bad person. You're not a bad person, but I'm just, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to fight this with you. I don't want you to feel like I'm around people that are trying to put a bushel over my light. My light is my light. Your light is your light. Let's light up the world together. Let's do that. Let's have fun with that. But I don't want to be around a person who I have to keep on showing them or trying to show them their light. It's like, dude, if you can't find your own light, you got to go and do some more work, because I can't hold my light up to make your light look good or to help you find your light. I can't do that. It's too much work. I got stuff to do. Okay. I'm busy. I'm very busy.
So does the power of your intention dictate the power of the energy you're sending?
Absolutely.
So the more that you are in tune with it, the more powerful it becomes.
I think so, but I also think it's getting out of its way. See, when I healed, I'm going to use Willem as an example, because we've had that picture of that image of him, and we have the video of him, so he's really in our minds. Okay, so hi, Willem. So what I want to do is I'm going to use him. When I sent that and did that healing on him, I did not set the intention, I'm gonna heal this dog, and clear him out. And
that looks like the X-Men.
Oh, yeah. I mean, cooler. Yeah, that's cool if you're an X-Men. That's cool, My fingers go like this when I send. My hands go like this. That's the way my hands are when I send. It feels right to me. If I need to, I do a little bit of this. Okay, because it's all, my whole hand is an energetic conduit. From the fingers, from the palms, going up to the fingers, going up to the fingertips and out. Okay? So when I sent it to Willem, I just sent the energy. Let's see what happens. Just see what happens. See what happens. I didn't go into it saying I'm going to heal his body, and then I'm going to heal the chakras, and then I'm going to go deeper. I kept getting drawn deeper. I kept getting pulled deeper because I am in a mindset of allowing in whatever is. Let's see what happens. That's a perfect thing, okay? Then if you want to, that's a perfect way to begin, okay? That's a perfect stance to be in anything. When you're in a let's see what happens, you're in a place that will enable the universe to manifest whatever it wants to, however it needs to, what you want in even better fashion than you can imagine. It's in an easy stance. It's in an ease and a flow.
Now you're the conduit. Where does the energy enter you to exit through your hands?
I don't know. Sometimes it's through my crown chakra and I'll feel a tingling. Sometimes it's through my third eye. Sometimes it's through my heart. Sometimes it's all three. Sometimes it's through my feet. I feel myself grounded. I don't put limitations on my healing. Sometimes it's through my guides. Again, I've learned over the years, stop limiting yourself and stop limiting the energy that is divine. It's divine, like Susan said, it's divine energy. Why are you going to limit divine energy? It's limitless. So then you're going to say, okay, it's limitless. I get this divine energy. Reiki too is divine energy. I get this divine energy, and then I'm going to put limitations on it.
That's another t-shirt. Don't limit your divine energy.
Don't limit your divine energy, and here's a quote. Okay, stop trying to put training wheels on your divine healing. Take the training wheels off. Stop putting go down the hill, and just sail down the hill and just see what happens and have fun.
Do that again. That was fun. You got my energy going, and now you messed up my energy field there. So, okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Well, what's interesting about that, Coryelle, is and I've had a conversation with John Edward, and when he was doing his show Crossing Over, he said that they had to fit him with he said 8 mics because of the energy that was going through him it had a tendency to blow mics out.
Yeah.
And
I can see that.
Yeah, so when people say it, because I get a lot of folks that say, "Oh, come on, energy, really?" There's.
I don't care. I'm not. Yeah, whatever. I don't have time for that anymore. I'm not here to prove anything. I'm not here to, scientifically speaking, I'm quoting this scientific, research paper. I don't have time to read scientific research papers. I don't. If you do, great. But I don't. I'm again, I'm busy. I got stuff going on. Okay. Energy is energy. It's energy. You can't, what are you going to do? You're going to say to yourself, oh, I'm sorry, my New Yorker's coming out. What are you going to do? Are you going to say to yourself, well, I flip a switch and the energy comes in from the energy company, goes through the wires, into the circuit, into the socket, into the thing, boom, and into the switch. But it's energy. It's energy. It's generated, but it's energy. When you go like this, you're generating energy. It's energy. It exists. It exists.
Yeah.
There's nothing that if you don't believe, if you don't believe that the energy is working when you flip the switch, and you believe it's, just static electricity, that's fine. That's what you believe. If you believe that you flip the switch and little leprechauns are inside and they run back and forth and they bring the energy to the switch in nanoseconds, that's fine. If that's what you believe. But it's still energy.
It's kind of like when you get in your car and you turn on the engine and the radio comes on. It's like, where's the wire that operates the radio?
Thank you.
That is a form of energy transformation from where the source was, and it's invisible, and
Exactly.
but it ends up in your car. We just look at that as that's so normal. But if you were to say, all right, explain how that works, not very many of us could actually explain.
Well, they could. Okay. I mean, what's interesting is that, but it would sound like you were crazy.
It would.
It would. Do you know how our pictures get to, or used to get to the TV when there was antennas? The picture would be from the TV station would be beamed out. Little pictures would be beamed across over your head into your TV and then reassembled. That's kooky.
Can you now?
Hi. I mean, that sounds like somebody's broken. You know.
You know what's funny about that too is that we have been. This is 2020. In 100 years ago, there was no such thing as TV.
Yeah, right.
Radio was brand new. And then you could go to the theater and still you could see, and it was new, was moving pictures in the theater.
Right.
And that's only 100 years ago. So it's really the amount of change that has happened with humanity in the last 100 years is amazing. There were no jets. There were no airlines.
Phenomenal. There was no internet.
There was no
internet.
And there was
that's all energy, man. And if you tried to explain to somebody the internet 50 years ago, they would have told you you're on crack. Well, there was no crack back then. You're on marijuana. You're on the wacky weed. You're crazy. And we're going to put you away and give you a little jacket and put you in a room with pads all over it.
There was a cartoon character named Dick Tracy. Remember that?
No.
He was. It was a long time. Well, it was in the 50s and 60s. He had a wristwatch that he could call people on.
Yeah, cool.
And it was purely, at that time, it was purely science fiction. We have that today.
And it tells you your heart rate and how much urine input and output you're putting out. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be handy information right there.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But again, this is what I'm saying is that I don't have, when somebody comes up to me and says, prove it, I'm like, screw you. I'm not proving nothing. This is just, it's common sense. Okay. It's common sense. And I can't prove nothing to anybody. I mean, I could tell somebody why the sky is blue and they'd still be like, I'm not buying it.
Yeah, but when you look at the video that we showed earlier, and we could play that again if you want to, because it truly is remarkable the change that happened. And it's not like that she was giving him shots or anything else. It was based upon the work that you did with them, is how the change happened. Now you can poo-poo it, but that's reality. That's how it actually happened.
I mean, I don't believe in any coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences.
No, there aren't any.
I don't believe that I send healing to an animal, a bulldog who's in the vet clinic, one of my clients now, who was in the vet clinic throwing up, vomiting, diarrhea, and they couldn't figure out why. And I send him healing. I do the chakra work with him. I do the shadow work with him. And 2 hours later, he's able to go home. Whereas before they didn't know what was happening. And he was, on, he's sub-Q fluids, and they were worried that he was going to be taken out. And, I don't believe in coincidence. Oh my God, that's a coincidence. No, that I own my shit. Okay. I do. I own it. Okay. Now I couldn't do anything if that animal or that person wasn't lined up with whatever I was doing. That's different. I can't do free will, but there's no coincidence. I own that. It's like, holy crap, that's pretty amazing that he lined up with it like that. Now, if an animal can line up with it like that, and I don't want to say that like animals are worse than people, but if a bulldog, okay, can line up with it, a supposed dumb animal can line up with it, okay, and then feel better in 2 hours and be, I'm out of here, boop, 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 barking at the people in the vet office and wagging his little stubby tail butt around and energy all over the place. Yeah, let's go. I'm out. Why can't we? Why do we limit ourselves? Why do we keep ourselves in this pattern of over and over and over and over again? Disbelief. Just look. That's why I love using animals as examples, because they are masters at feeling better. They want to let go of their crap. They do. They don't hold on to it like Samsonite luggage.
We do.
They don't hold on to it like a yadro you got from your great grandmother. Oh, this is mine. No, let go. Throw it. Bye-bye. Oh, bye. So it's like the energy, but this is the fun that you can have. No matter where you are in the spectrum of healing, you could be a light artisan that has been doing light artisan. I like light artisan words. I like that phrase better than light worker. It sounds like, oh, I'm a light worker. I'm going into work. Gotta like go boom, boom, boom. I don't like that word. So you could be a light artisan that's been doing it for years. You could be somebody who just got, started doing it. Or you could be somebody who has, just started right now, and this show maybe inspired you. Great. I'm thrilled for you. Just do it. Make it yours. Don't let anybody tell you that you have to do it a certain way. As long as your intention is from the heart, as long as your intention is pure, as long as your intention is with love, you are fine. Take the training wheels off, throw the helmet and the knee pads away, go sailing down the damn driveway, and just go and run with it. Go, be, do, heal, go. Stop limiting yourself, because energy is not limited. It's limitless.
It's interesting. We used to play, there were four of us, and we used to play energy games with each other. And what we would do is, one of them was somebody would be standing there and close their eyes.
Yeah.
And then somebody would get in to the side of them, and they would put their hand on either side of them, not touch them.
Yeah.
But they could actually get them rocking back and forth, because as they were pushing the energy that surrounds the individual back and forth, and the individual had no idea that was even happening.
Isn't
because
it cool?
The energy. And if you don't believe in energy, walk up to a great big tree and put your hands on it. You'll feel energy.
Yeah.
Pushing through.
Have fun with it. Just rub your hands together for a few seconds, and then just, play with your animals. Of course, get consent first. Okay. It's all about consent. That's the episode we did. And just ask them, can I send you energy? And just see what happens. And when I send energy to my boy Tyler, who is not energetic, he's not energetic. Sacred, my girl, is more energetic than he is. his ear twitches. Okay, you'll notice something. The body will ripple. Maybe the body will ripple, or maybe all of a sudden they'll turn and they'll be on their stomach, and as you're sending the energy. That's not coincidence. They're feeling that. And again, playing with it, playing with this. This is how you make it really powerful. Visualize. I'm a very, very visual person. I love visual stuff. So I'm visual, I'm kinesthetic, I'm auditory, I'm all of it. But see in your mind's eye how the energy coming out of your hands or the energy coming out of your heart, and play with the different shapes of it. Maybe it's like white puffy clouds. Maybe it's sunlight, like rays of sunlight coming out of your hands or your heart. Play with the color. Play with the texture. Does it feel soft and puffy, or does it feel strong and powerful like crystals? If you need to set it up with music, if that's your thing, but just play with it and see what happens. And also start to get used to where you're feeling it. Like right now, I'm feeling energy coming down into my crown chakra, straight out of my third eye, and into my hands, out of my hands. So I feel that. So begin to notice where you're feeling it, because then you can start activating those places. You can, before you do your healing, visualize like beautiful quartz crystal doors on the top of your crown chakra. Just see them opening up and then seeing this beam of light coming down. That activates you. Okay? Have fun with it. Play with it. Bring in your guides. Ask your guides. Even if your guides aren't humanoid, they don't have to be humanoid. They could be just energy beings or just beams of energy or whatever. Just open yourselves up to the different pathways and play with it. That is what it is. Energy is not stagnant. When energy is stagnant, it's not moving. It's not energy. So you want to keep yourself, what can I do to make this a little bit more fun? Maybe put on some cool music. Maybe put on some images. Maybe get myself a Ganesh and put it on my things, on my desk, so I look at it. Ooh, yeah, I like that. What can I do to jazz myself up and jazz up my spirituality, my connection to divine? I have stuff all around me that reminds me that I am a divine being of love. Okay? That's what can you do to jazz it up, take it to the next level, have fun. That's what it's all about. More than anything, just have fun.
And now help me here, because I feel like if you start activating your energy and you are getting real energetic and you're really, really feeling it, that ideas, thoughts, they're going to come into your head that you didn't generate, and don't poo them or ignore them, because those are part of the energy exchange from divine. Am I correct?
Yes. People ask me, how do I connect? How do I connect? How do I get to the next level? How do I connect? And I tell people, start playing with stuff. Start activating. You don't have to sit in a lotus position for hours on end and meditate. Get into the habit of 5 minutes a day, finding a comfortable place and sitting and being quiet or listening to music. Listen to me. Music for me is a great way in. I find this music. I listen to music during the day. I was listening to something on Spotify called Tedzita. Tedzita is kind of like Ethiopian jazz music. It's really cool. I mean, it's on Spotify. Tezeta. Okay, it's great. Okay. You listen to different kinds of music. Don't listen to the same stuff all the time. Go and choose and listen to kind of like Arabic music. That's very, find different ways that you can, and see where that music activates in your body. Start to begin to notice your body. Ooh, this really opens up my heart chakra. That's cool. Ooh, my crown chakra's tingling. Whoop, there goes the third eye. It's again about finding the path. There are so many pathways in. And the thing of it is that when you start opening up and just being open to the different ways that information can come in, information will come in. I mean, one of the shows we're going to do is something I've developed. Nobody's doing it. Never been done before. And I got, in the beginning of December, a massive download. I mean, could it have been at a different time? Maybe 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the morning is kind of like hard. But I got a massive download of different touches that people could do. And I'm showing these touches to my clients, and my clients, they're opening up their third eye immediately. They're opening up the crown chakras immediately. They're showing they're grounding their animals and helping them emotionally become more stabler. They're healing their emotions. They're healing their mental issues. They're healing their mind. If I had stayed with the rigid Reiki rules, I don't think I would have gotten these chakra touches. That's what I call them, because I haven't thought of a better name for them yet. But if I had limited myself and said, I'm only going to come and get information from the hours of 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. on a Thursday, and only from divine, I'm not going to see it on the TV. I'm not going to hear it from other people. I'm not going to get it from animals. If I had done that, I would have. I'm putting too much limitations. Again, we're going back to the limitations. I don't want to live my life with limitations. I want to be limitless, endless. That's what I want to do. So give me something. This is why the animal blueprints wouldn't have existed. Okay, and those are changing people's lives. Those are changing people and animals' lives. If I had stayed with, can't only do this, I can't do that, I can only do work with the erotic blueprints of people and their sexuality. It would have been, I didn't stay open to. I stayed open to what can this bring to the world? What can this do?
I want to remind you, not that I need to, because you're very well aware, but anybody that is listening to us today, and we're going to need to wrap this up because we've reached the hour mark and we do it so fast. But a year ago, you had a specific way of you were doing business. You were talking to people, you were doing animal stuff, and you were doing one session, and that was the model that you were using, was the model that everybody else uses. And then you got called to take this class that you spent 7 months doing, which led you to, and it's kept leading you from one point to the next point, and it's all in divine timing, and it's all done perfectly. And it all started because you said, okay, use me. Mm-hmm. And they said, all right, are you sure? Because this is going to be wild. And in the last year, you have changed dramatically. You've helped people definitely helped people a lot. You've healed people. You've healed animals. You've brought animals and people on the same plane, which a lot of people hold them differently. And it's all, and the cool thing is, in watching you do this for the last year, you're nowhere, excuse the expression, folks, you're nowhere near fucking done.
No.
You're somewhere, I said that and 2 people dropped off. It's like, oh, all right, if he's going to swear, we're done. Okay, sorry. But you're nowhere near done. And you're just in the middle of the process. And it's going to continue.
I hope it does. I'm always going to stay open to change. I embrace change. I love change. I love transformations. I I think that's one of the things that really got me when I first started doing healing work with Reiki was the feeling that I had to do that this way. Don't tell me I have to do something a certain way, because I will say, watch me. And I'll go and I'll take it and I'll twist it up because I love it. I love doing that. I love when I find it's like I don't know, Lego set that you build and you put it together and you put it together, and then all of a sudden it's this thing that you made. It's one of the reasons why I love my intuitive painting, like this one back behind me, because it's like I just twist it. I make it my own. I don't know I know what it's going to look like, kind of, but it's always different. And I twist it and make it, and it's like it's this living, breathing thing. That's what I want my healing to be. That's what I want my work with people to be. And I want it to keep growing. And I'm telling you, if I ever get to the point where I say, I'm done. Okay, I'm done. I've learned everything. I'm not going to expand anymore. Then please contact me and find out if I've been, taking some psychedelics or whatever, because that's not me. I will constantly go and make and be more, be bigger, be more. Let's find out more. Let's grow, expand. That's what I love. Expand.
By the way, that's Coryelle Kramer. If you'd like to get a hold of her, you can go to her website, which is CoryelleKramer.com. And if they want to email you, there's an email site there. You can set up to take an intake quiz, and you can do all kinds of stuff on the website. So please do that. As a matter of fact, next week or sometime in the near future, you're going to be on another podcast. Let's talk about that a little bit.
I'm going to be doing a friend of mine, Anthony Pico. I've known him forever. And he does a podcast called Cosmic Tuesdays. So I am going to be on February 22nd. We're going to be doing the animal blueprints. I'm going to be doing a show with him, and I will post it. It's on the Sprecher.com. Sprecher is speaker in German. I'll post the link on my Facebook. But it's going to be fun. Anthony is somebody who I respect very much, definitely like you. Okay. He wants to help the world become a better place. He's a beautiful person. Plus he's got like 8 cats. So you can't, I love the guy. He's amazing. He's an amazing human being. So again, it's going to be on the animal blueprints, and we're going to have that show, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
And you're going to post it on Facebook.
I will post it on my Facebook and on my website. Yes.
So people can go to your Facebook page, which is Coryelle Kramer.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you just type in, when you go to Facebook and you go to search, go to Coryelle Kramer, and you will find her. That's Kramer with a K. And you'll get a hold of her. So it's great fun talking to you again this week. It's been fun, and you've been very energetic, which is awesome.
Well, you're talking about energy. You better bring it, baby.
That's right. So, since we're going to end this thing, I've taken a new turn to it, and that is to give you a moment to say whatever you'd like to our audience or anybody that's going to listen to this podcast now or in the future.
Take the training wheels off your life. Take the limitations. Stop limiting yourself and what you bring to this world. Just take stuff that you feel drawn to, maybe, but make it your own. Maybe it's intuitive painting. Maybe it's clay. I don't care. But whatever it is, take it and bring you to the program, because that is where the magic happens.
And again, this is Conversations with Coryelle. We're here every Tuesday at noon. We'll be here next Tuesday. Don't have any idea what we're going to talk about, but we've got a list that's almost as long as our arm now. So
I think we're going to do reincarnation. I think that's really an important subject. I think a lot of people are very interested in it. reincarnation for people and animals.
Yes, it's one of my favorite topics because I truly believe that since we're all energy, and we're, as a human being, we are a dense physical form, but we transcend our body, which is nothing more than like a car. And so then we go back and then we get into another car. That's like, do you remember what you drove 2 cars ago?
My father's 1979 Subaru Legacy.
Do you know where it is now?
We were rear-ended before I came to New Mexico, so I almost died. And it's in a somewhere in a scrapyard somewhere.
Yeah. So you've lost track with the car, which is your body, and now you've what are you driving today? You've got a new car.
Driving. I bought my baby. That's baby. Baby is baby is a Nissan Rogue LS SL. I love her.
Ooh, that's a nice
baby.
car.
I know she is.
Yeah, Coryelle, thank you so much, and we will all see you next Tuesday at noon. Please tell your friends. Coryelle is a lot of fun to listen to, as you know, and it's fun to be here with her. So do that, and we will see you next time on Conversations with Coryelle. Hey, and thanks for listening to this episode all the way to the end. Hey, pretty cool. Hey, don't forget to follow us so you can receive regular updates and new posts. And remember, take care of each other because each other's all we've got. See you next time on My Independence Report.